Good afternoon, everyone, to joining us. And again, this morning session was amazing. I was there with Dr. Chopra and Dr. Miller, and followed by the cooking session and all. And we love to have you come to our session. Today, what we are going to do is something since COVID-19 started, four of us, we got very much interested in looking at what is happening to our lifestyle. And an invisible little creature is making all of us hostage with all the money in our hand and all the medical know-how. We cannot control this little creature. So we are like under a house arrest, So we thought we want to do something for our body and mind. With that in mind, every Thursday since March 1st week, and primarily one of our students, Vihaj, and she initiated, and then Mike and Elise joined us, and to start this body and mind. And we got a student caucus in our own university school of social work, and Vihaj is the president. And so we started doing this healing power of positive thinking. Every Thursday we do an interactive session, and it is still going on. If any of you is interested, even after our presentation, if you like it, you are more than welcome to join us. It is on every Thursday, Pacific Standard Time, 11 to 12. And we will have a flyer and we'll be glad to send it to you. And what we are trying to do is, this is an interactive session. We want all of you to participate. It is not just a lecture. And what we want to do is, we want you to take home something, the different pointers, which we can practice it yourself. And all the way from our Elise is a certified yoga teacher, and she's going to do a demonstration of chair yoga and few items. You may want to pick it up and go from there. And then Mike actually is going to do first, and he's going to do something on self-awareness, self-realization, and something on self-sympathy. And that is more geared towards the mind. And then Elise is going to do something for your body and also for mind also. And then finally, Vihaj and I, Vihaj is a certified laughter yoga teacher. And Vihaj and I going to come and demonstrate few pointers for laughing, and something you may feel comfortable doing it at home or at work or wherever you are, So with that introduction, and I want to introduce Mike, and he's going to talk a little bit more about what he's trying to do. And also he has a website of his own. Mike, you could also put that website here for others to follow you also. The same with Elise, also got a website, and Elise got 2 books out there, and Vihaj also got a website of her own. And I also got one, and I do work with centenarians, people who are healthy, living 100 plus years old, and mainly profiling their secret of long life. Okay, so let's start with Mike, and we look forward to participating with you, Mike. Thank you.
Beautiful. So thank you for that introduction. And as Dr. Nair said, a lot of this this session, this breakout room, is going to be quite interactive. So I hope y'all join along. I'm going to share, and I only have about 10 minutes of your attention, but I'm going to start just a few minutes sharing an idea, and then we're going to practice this idea. So to start out, I'm a social worker, and social workers talk a lot about advocacy. We talk about self-advocacy, individual group advocacy. I'm going to focus on self-advocacy today, but specifically what's a little bit different about this idea today is self-advocacy within the self, right? Often we think about advocacy within the external environment. Today, I'm going to encourage you to focus on what it means to be an advocate for yourself within the self. So what does this even really mean, right? We all have this capacity to show up and support ourselves, just like we do with others. But I think sometimes we forget that a chunk of all of our challenges, of all of our suffering, is in these emotional and cognitive worlds, is really in this internal world. So today, what I'm encouraging is what it looks like to show up and support yourself when there's challenge within this internal world. And what does that look like? Well, I'm going to explain 3 concepts, and then these 3 concepts are what we're going to actually practice here in a few minutes. So the first concept, the first idea of this self-advocacy within the self is awareness, right? We have to be aware of when we're in need of support to actually do anything about it. And so often in our culture and around the world, research even supports this. We avoid our challenges. Challenges are uncomfortable, right? It makes sense. So this first step, though, is actually becoming very aware of when we're in need of support. The second step is about turning away from isolation. And this is so important because meeting ourselves when we're struggling, we're at risk of slipping into self-pity and self-judgment a little bit. So reminding ourselves that we're not alone in our challenges, that it is not a personal defect to be struggling, when in fact, part of the human condition, the complex human condition, is challenge. So we avoid self-pity and self-judgment by turning away from self-isolation. That's step 2. And then step 3 is actually about a gesture of supporting ourselves. So this will make more sense when we actually do it here in a few moments, but there's 2 gestures you can choose. You can choose a very nurturing gesture, palms on the heart, or if you need a little bit more of like an active or a fierce kind of self-advocacy, you just raise your arms above your head, right? And there's beautiful research supporting the chemical changes that happen with both of these gestures, okay? So that's going to be coming in a few moments. You'll have a chance to either place your palms on your heart or to reach your arms above your head. And if you're unsure which to do, you just pick one, right? We don't need to overcomplicate it. Okay, so before we actually jump into it, I'm going to summarize. To deploy this self-advocacy within our emotional and cognitive internal worlds, we need 3 things. We need to be aware of when we're in need of support. We need a sense of belongingness, right? This is to avoid self-pity and self-judgment. And then we actually need to support ourselves. And we do that in this little mini practice through a gesture of either palms on heart or arms overhead. Okay, so I have about 5 more, little under 5 minutes of your time. So we're actually going to practice this now. So we will need a chair for Elise in a couple of moments when she shows us some really beautiful yoga. So if you don't have a chair, grab it now, sit down. You can also do this laying down, all right? And it's going to involve you recalling a challenge from your current life, yeah? And this is where we tricked you a little bit, right? This breakout room is called positive thinking. And now I'm asking you to think up a challenge. So just go with me for a few moments here and think up a challenge, nothing overwhelming. And it's okay if it's part of this external world, right? Because all of our challenges also occupy space inside, but that's where the focus is going to be. What is it like to experience this challenge within our emotions, within our cognitions, right? So closing the eyes if that feels safe. And this step 1, right? We talked about it, this awareness. So begin to think of what this challenge was like, right? And this is the discomfort. So think of where it was, who was involved. And because we're going internally, notice what it felt like. Okay, and now in this sort of meditation that we're doing right now, what I'm going to encourage is actually speaking out, and it can be the voice in your head, but actually using language to drive home each of these points, okay? So step 1 here is the awareness. And we're becoming very aware of a specific challenge in your life. You're thinking it up, noticing what it feels like. And now I encourage you to either say out loud or say within your head, this is a moment of difficulty, right? Really acknowledging it. Maybe even this is a moment of suffering. You pick language that works for you, right? And then the second component to avoid self-pity, self-judgment, to really turn towards this common humanity, the language you can use to really drive it home could be, hey, everyone faces a challenge from time to time. Or maybe I'm human and part of the complex human experience is suffering, right? Or maybe I am not defective because I am experiencing this internal challenge. Okay, and then our third component, and this involves the gesture of actually trying to show up a little bit for ourselves within these internal worlds. You either place your palms on your heart or you reach your arms up over your head. And the beautiful thing is no one else is on camera, right? So reaching arms above head can look a little silly, I know, but keep them up here. This is a really powerful stance if you need that action, that fierce self-advocacy, or you place your palms on your heart if you need a little bit more nurturing, okay? And then in the context of this challenge we called up, to drive it home, the language you could use is, may I show up and support myself when I am in need. May I show up and support myself when I am in need. All right, and that's it. That's it, those three components. So as you're ready, you can let that gesture slip away. And once again, my idea today that I'm presenting to you is what does self-advocacy look like in our internal worlds? And what I propose to you is to lean into that, to cultivate that skill of advocating for ourselves within our own internal worlds, just requires three things: awareness, turning away from isolation, and then actually advocating, actually supporting ourselves, either in a nurturing way or perhaps a more fierce way. Yeah. So thank you for following along. That's what I have for you today. I dropped my website in the chat. It'll come up at the end. And if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A or the chat. We'll answer them all at the end. But for now, once again, my name is Mike Averill. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And I'm going to pass it off to my colleague, Elise. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, very much. And Elise is going to spend 10 minutes and demonstrate some chair yoga poses. Go for it, Elise. Thank you.
I've got my timer, so I won't go over. Okay, so let's sit nice and tall. We're going to go a little faster than we normally do on our Positive Thinking Thursdays, but you're welcome to come to those. We're going to start by just taking the arms by our side, lifting the chest, reaching through the crown of the head for a mountain pose. Now we're going to start to move with the breath. So as you inhale, take your arms up and maybe turn your palms as you reach your arms up. Bring your hands to the top height that you can reach, and then you're going to turn your palms down and exhale. And we'll take some more breaths like this, inhaling, synchronizing breath with movement, enjoying this practice. As you exhale, you can press down as though the air had mass. Lifting your chest, inhale, rise up. Maybe you want to bring your palms together. Sometimes it's fun to try that. You don't have to have your arms straight. And then as you exhale, press down. It feels good to move when we've been sitting a lot all day. So inhale, exhale, and then I'll let you do the last two on your own. So just follow your own rhythm. Beautiful. And then when you're done returning to that reset mountain pose, we'll take our hands to our thighs or our knees, and we're going to do cat-cow. So cat-cow, sometimes we do it on all fours. We're going to do it with hands on thighs or knees. Exhale, pull the chest back, tuck your chin, slump in your chair, and then inhale, lift your chest, press your heart forward. Move with your own breath. So now I'm going to let you go at your own pace, your own rhythm. So as you inhale, Heart presses forward. Be careful that you don't throw your head back too far. Round as you exhale. And if anything feels uncomfortable, skip it or don't move as deeply, as strongly. Back off a little. Always taking care of yourself. And don't worry if you forgot if you're supposed to inhale or exhale. Yoga means union, and we're trying, or our aim is to become more in union with ourselves, with others. So let's come back on your next breath. Come back to sitting tall in mountain pose. Take your arms by your side, and we're going to start to work on a side stretch, and then we're going to do some twisting. So let's take this arm up. I'm going to call it my right arm. Reach it straight up. We're going to hold this for 3 breaths. So this arm is going to get a little heavy, and you're going to stretch to the side. We're going to take 3 breaths. So I'll let you count those on your own. And one more. And then return to center, back to mountain. We'll take the other side, and then we're going to move a little faster. So reaching that other arm up, as long as you do both sides, take 3 deep breaths. Wonderful. And then returning to center. Now we're going to move with the breath. I just want to remind you that yoga means union. I said it before, but a lot of people think it just means exercise or meditation. But to me, the meaning is to create harmony. Union is really harmony with ourselves, with our environment, with the people around us. So we feel more in homeostasis, more balanced. So now we're going to move a little faster. So if you need to take it slower, go back to those slow, you can just hold this stretch. Okay, so we're going to take this arm up. We'll take the left arm, we'll change it up. And we're going to start by inhaling, stretching to the side. Exhale, back to mountain. Inhale, stretch to the side. Exhale, back to mountain. Inhale. I hope everybody can see me. I don't know if I'm pinned, but I see some of us. And so just move with your breath. So you're inhaling side to side. Exhale, mountain, lift your chest. We'll do this a few more times, and then we'll move even faster if you choose to. Okay, beautiful. Okay, then coming back to center, now we'll move a little bit faster. So this time you don't have to breathe. You're just going to go side to side. So this is going to work your external obliques, those side abdominal muscles. Don't go too fast, but if you're really coordinated, I'm just gonna move at my own pace, but if you wanna go faster or slower, you'll start to feel those muscles working. And I forgot to remind you, be careful that you don't have anything around you that you're hitting. Be gentle. The movement could be, I'll demonstrate a little more gentle, a little bit less movement, but feel free to do it on your own. Okay, bring your arms by your side. And now we're going to do some twisting. Okay, so we're going to do some twisting movement, and then we're going to hold the twist. So cross your arms, take your hands on your shoulders like this, and just notice which arm is over. I'm just going to pin myself because then I'm going to make sure that you can see me. Okay, so we're going to twist. So you'll notice that your feet move. So just start to twist. We have our hands on our shoulders so that we know that we're moving. We know we're twisting in the shoulders because sometimes we just twist our head. So keep your head from moving, just twist the shoulders. And this will also work those sideways. This is like walking. You'll notice that your knees move, your pelvis moves, your hips move. Okay, come back to center. Now we're going to release the arms, and now we're going to take the hands behind the head and do the same movement. So you can either stack your palms or interlace your fingers. Take your hands on the back of the skull. Even just bringing your arms up like this is a nice stretch and helps to open the lungs, helps us breathe more deeply. So take a deep breath here. Let's let it out with a sigh. And then let's start to twist. So don't move your elbows. You're going to keep your elbows stationary. This is going to work your sideways even more. We're moving in different planes of the body. And we're enjoying this twisting movement. You can move a little faster, a little slower. We always want to enjoy our practice. So if anything feels like it's too much, take a break. Just sit and enjoy watching us. You don't have to move. Okay, then we'll come back to center, release your arms. Good work, everyone. Now we're going to do a static twist. So let's twist to the right first. You may even want to move slightly to your left, and you're going to cross your right leg over your left. Okay, this isn't my right leg, just in case you know that we're on camera, but we'll say it's my right leg. I'm going to take opposite hand on opposite knee, and I'm going to sit nice and tall, lengthening the front of my body, lengthening the crown of my head up to the ceiling. I'm going to start to turn. Notice I want to turn with my head, but I really want to broaden my collarbones and turn from the shoulders. Everybody has a different chair. So if you have a chair with an armrest, you might consider pressing your hand into that armrest to help you twist a little more, or maybe you want to hold the back of the chair. Sometimes that's difficult if you're not as flexible, or if you've had an injury. I can't do it on the other side, only on this side, and all the chairs are different. So it's fine to just put your hand on the chair and hold that twist. Take a few nice, steady, deep breaths, feeling the strength and stability within your body. Smile, make it fun for you. And then we'll inhale, come back to center, and we'll uncross that leg, and then we'll take the other side. So you can slightly move, that gives you a little more space to twist, and then crossing left leg over right, opposite hand on opposite knee, and then you begin to turn. You can look out over your shoulder, but I recommend turning from your chest, your upper back first, and then let the head begin to move. Breathing in deeply. Each inhale, you can grow a little taller, maybe try to twist just a little more deeply as you exhale. And again, you can take your hand and place it on your armrest if you have one. I can't reach the chair here, so I'm just going to keep my hand down low. Holding this twist, static hold. Inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to do a little bit of marching with a twist. So let me check my time. All right, we're going to start with our hands out at the side. So you can just have your hands about 45 degrees. If you have a table in front of you, be aware. You could also just tap your knee. We're going to go from side to side. So you could start by tapping. And then if you want to lift your knee, you can start to lift your knee, going up and down. Enjoying that movement. And we do this every Thursday, and we do it for a little bit longer. We want to have time for you guys' questions. Now, you can continue tapping your knee. This is good for the brain. We're crossing the midline of the body. If you want to try doing elbow to knee, now notice I'm not bringing my elbow to my knee, but the elbow helps me twist more, and I feel that crunch. You can tighten your core. Think of it like you're laser pointing with your elbow to knee. Yeah, you probably slump more, but I like to do it sitting tall, and take a break if you need to. So I'm trying to give us a little bit of exercise because we've been sitting, most of us all day, or maybe cooking. Maybe you guys joined me for the mindful portion. Okay, one more time, good. Let's just kind of shake it out. Pat your belly, you probably felt that. It felt great, hopefully. Now, if you remember which arm you crossed over, let's cross the other arm over. So for me, non-dominant. Now, we're going to just rock from front to back. So just start to rock in your chair. Bring yourself forward. So it's like a forward bend. And we're actually going to stand up if you can. If not, I'm going to give you a way to do this in the chair. So let's go ahead now. Next time you rock forward, press into your heels. I have to grab my mic, it came off. Press into your heels and come up. Okay, and then we'll go back down. So lean back like you're in the chair pose and then sit down. So we're going up and down just a couple times, standing up, and then reach your hips, reach your thighs down, come down. You can go a little faster. I'm just showing you the form. We're just gonna go down, and then we'll go up one more time. Beautiful. So now we're standing in mountain pose. And if you need the chair for balance, you can move the chair to the side. We're going to do warrior one pose. So I'm going to step my left foot forward, right foot back. Okay, you can't even see my foot, but that's okay. You can see my knee. I'm bending my front knee. I want to keep that knee over the ankle. You can either bring your hands to your heart into Anjali Mudra, a sacred circle, or reach your hands up. If you need to hold the chair, hold your chair. I'm not going to move my chair, but I'm going to pretend I'm holding the chair. Hands can be at the heart or reaching your arms up. Press your back heel. Feel that front foot pressing into the floor. Feel the back heel especially pressing into the floor. Now to come out, release my hands. I'm going to step the back foot forward so it's a little easier. And then I'm going to step the other foot back. But you may need to do it a little differently depending on where you are. Always be aware of your surroundings when you're doing chair yoga because it's not always a yoga studio. Bring your hands back to your heart, bend your front knee, press that back heel down. On this side, let's embrace that warrior spirit. The warrior spirit feels confident, grounded, stable. You can reach your arms up or keep your hands at the heart. Find that feeling inside of you. Embrace that peaceful warrior. We all have this strength, resilience. Feel it inside of you. Let that warrior pose bring it out in you. Good work. Bring your palms down and then once again, step your back foot forward. Now, if I didn't have room, I could also step my back foot forward a little and then step my back foot forward. Standing back in mountain pose, let's keep the hands at the heart and stand nice and tall. You can have your feet about hip width apart, reach through the crown and just notice your posture. Notice how you feel right now. Let's go ahead and sit back down in the chair. Time is almost done. I'm gonna do a seated pigeon pose and then we're gonna do our laughter yoga. So for seated pigeon, go ahead and pick up your left foot and we're not gonna have time to do footwork. We're just gonna flex the foot, which is push through the heel. You could also cross your leg or if you can, put your ankle over your knee. Sit tall and notice how this feels. You might already feel an opening in your hips and your thighs. Lift your low back, lift that low back away from the pelvis, that space between your back ribs and your pelvis. Lift it up. And if you already feel a stretch, stay there. If you can start to come forward. Make sure you don't feel it in your knee. Maybe you want to lean forward. Maybe you're really flexible and you can touch the floor. And then the last few moments here, we'll gaze down at the ground and we'll start to let go of maybe some challenges or worries or fears or doubts. We all are experiencing challenges as Mike helped us with, but let's take it to this level of letting it go. It's not that the worries or challenges will disappear forever, but let's see if we can let them go, detach from them just for these few moments in this pose. Lighten your load. This will calm the nervous system and take us out of that fearful part of the brain. Okay, we have one more side, so let's slowly come up and then go ahead and bring the left foot down and then take your other leg up. And I'm gonna flex my foot, whether I'm crossing my thigh over my thigh or ankle over knee. I'm gonna sit tall, lift my low back. That may be enough. And then I can just look down at the floor. And then go ahead and again, think of that emptying. This is the end of our short practice. So what do you wanna let go of? Imagine it's dumping out of your brain. It's coming out as you exhale. You don't even have to know what you're letting go of. Just set the intention that you're letting go of worries, doubts, fears, anxieties. Breathe them out. Let them go. Then as you inhale, go ahead and come back up. Bring that foot onto the floor. You may want to scoot forward a little in your chair for our final pose together. I'm just going to take my feet a little bit wider. Turn my toes out. I'm going to bring my palms together. And just for fun, let's rub the hands together. Generate some heat and feel that connection. When we rub, we can feel even more connection between the hands and the heart and the arms, creating a beautiful circle of union and practice. And we can bow together. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you all, Alice and Vihad. You could demonstrate as few of your laughter yoga poses, and then we'll take it question and answer. Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Wihaj. I will show you how to do laughter yoga. In laughter yoga, we are going to focus on deep breathing and deep belly laughter. It's proven scientifically to reduce stress, boost the immune system, as well as improve self-esteem and self-confidence. Laughter yoga has the power to heal the mind and body. So if you are ready to start, you can unmute yourselves so we can hear each other laughing. Emotions are contagious. So when we laugh together, we feel much better. So the first step of laughter yoga is clapping. We are going to clap in a rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Good. The second step of laughter yoga is breathing. We are going to take a deep breath in from the nose and then exhale from the mouth. Ready? Let's do it together. Deep breathe in from the nose and exhale. Deep breathe in from the nose and exhale. Now you will take a deep breath in from the nose. You will hold it. I will count 1, 2, 3. When you exhale, you laugh. Let's do it. Deep breathe in from the nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Take a deep breath in from the nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Last time. Deep breathe in from the nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Good. The third step is called childlike playfulness. So we will cheer each other by doing very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Good. The fourth step is the actual laughter yoga exercise. It's a combination of deep breathing and deep belly laughter. There is a very popular exercise. It's called the milkshake exercise. Very easy, very simple. You just imagine you have 2 glasses of milkshakes in your hand, like this. And then you pour it from here to here. If you like milkshake, you drink it and laugh. If you don't like milkshake, you throw it away and laugh. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Deep breathe in. Here. Here. Deep breathe in. Here. Here. One more time. Here. Here. Very good. Very good. Yay. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, oh, ha, ha, ha. ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. The second exercise is called the flower exercise. So you imagine that you have flowers in front of you or garden or whatever. You pick up a flower with one hand. You take a deep breath in from the nose, like you are smelling the flower. And then you exhale and let go. Do it together. Pick up a flower, smell it, exhale. Pick up a flower with the other hand. Take a deep breath in from the nose. Exhale and laugh. One more time. Pick up a flower. Smell it. Exhale. Very good. Very good.
Yay!
Very good. Very good.
Yay!
Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Joining us, Professor Nair will continue. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vihaj. And I want to show you a couple of things I learned from a German anthropologist on how the animals laugh. And this take a deep breath and open your mouth as wide as possible. Then you exhale. Basically, you are exhaling all your air out and making a high pitch laughter. And this is how the first one goes. It is like a ah. To get the force, you can put your hand behind your head or on your things like that, or you can pinch your earlobe. They call it super brain yoga pose. And then take a deep breath. Open your mouth as wide as possible, then laugh it out. You could get a rhythmic kind of a thing. In case, if there are people, they don't want you to make sound, you can do silent laughing. Take a deep breath, open your mouth. Basically, what you're doing is you're getting all your air out, no sound coming out. The second type is O sound. Make your mouth look like this. O. Take a deep breath. The same thing you can do without sound. The third type is like an E. You clench your teeth as close as possible. Then you take a deep breath. Then you exhale by laughing. The same thing you can do without sound also. Clench your teeth, take a deep breath, let the air go. There are studies found out that 90% of the time when you do this, you are blocking your mind. So whenever you are upset, or you cannot feel sleepy or restless, or you cannot concentrate, try this. And the super brain yoga by pinching your earlobe, there are studies being done to show that it has an effect on even children who cannot concentrate, with attention deficit disorder, even elders who have Alzheimer's or dementia early phases, this helps, and give a try. This pinching your earlobe a little bit, and you can stand and do this, or you can sit and do it, and basically inhaling and exhaling. Inhale by counting 3, like Vihaj was saying, and then exhale by counting up to 6. So basically, you are getting rid of all your carbon dioxide from your system, So we have about 7 minutes left, and Laura, are you around, Laura?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Any questions or from anyone, Laura?
Not at the moment, but I think at this time we can have everyone who has questions and hasn't posed them yet, type them in the Q&A box or in the chat.
Yes. And Our email is given here, and you are welcome to connect with us. We love to come, you to come to our Thursday session. You don't have to be a USC student or a faculty or staff. And if you like it, you are welcome to come. It is open up. We can give our own Zoom site, to come in. And we are doing it consistently every Thursday, 11 to 12 Pacific Standard Time.
So we have a question from Alexander, and they say, could you repeat the 3 components of self-advocacy again?
Very good. It is from Mike. Okay, go for it, Mike.
Sure. Yeah, so the 3 components when you're trying to practice this, and there's some similar research to Dr. Kristen Neff that shows we can actually learn and get better at this. So the 3 components are awareness, especially, I mean, I think all over the world, but we just really want to be aware if we're ignoring or suppressing challenges. So awareness, then there's turning away from isolation, and then there's the self-support. So we used a gesture, but any way you can support yourself. Yeah. So Wahaj, awareness, you can call it belongingness, turning away from isolation, and then self-support. Yeah. Great question.
I have a question for Wihaj. How did you get interested in laughter yoga?
Oh, that's a very interesting question because it happened to me just out of a sudden or a coincidence. I was in Laguna Beach, invited for a cup of coffee, and then I asked my relative to leave me alone to walk on the beach. And then I saw a group of people laughing from far away, and I thought they are a group of friends, know each other, and they are laughing together. So I was looking at them and smiling. So a woman approached me and she told me, "You can join us. It's free. It's called laughter yoga." I was like, "Okay, I like to laugh personally. I like to watch funny movies and comedy movies and stuff. I don't like drama and things." So I went and I joined them, and to my surprise, they just altered my mind out of a sudden. It's just very simple exercise, but it really shifted the mindset. And I didn't know anything about it, but then I Googled and I found out there's very strong scientific research behind it. They use it nowadays in corporate, they use it as a treatment for depression. And I know that Professor Nair um, is engaged somehow to help people in hospitals alleviate their stress by engaging them in some laughter exercises. And I really got interested in it. And my daughter, she's 3 years old, she liked it. And I never met anyone who doesn't like it. Even people who are so intense and they don't want to laugh, they start to smile at me and then they join me at the end. So I believe it's very good, especially right now, because we are all struggling to collaborate and stay connected virtually. So thank you for the question.
Elise, it is unfortunate that in our culture, in our society, if you laugh unnecessarily, they think something wrong with you. I think we need to change that inhibition. And I think it is something, the best approach, like Vihaj was saying, is to alleviate your stress or other challenges, laughing it out. That's the best approach. And it is good for your body and mind. And I think, the more we can do, it is better. The age has nothing to do. It could be all the way from newborn baby to the elders. Whatever is the challenges we face we need to learn to take it out, that challenges by laughing it out.
I actually have a question for Elise. A lot of us are sitting and on Zoom a lot these days. Do you have any like yoga postures or stretches that we should keep in mind for that? Like, I don't know, for hunching or our neck, our hands.
I would say, okay, I realize that Dr. Nair is pinned, but I don't know how to unpin him. Well, okay, I'll just show you. I'll show you really quick. I'd say do, whatever poses that you liked. Um, it's in gallery view. Perfect. Okay, good. I'm just maybe on my camera. Okay, so just sitting, like mostly we slouch. So do the opposite. Like you're gonna reach the back of your chair and lift your heart up. If you've ever done cobra or up dog, do it in a chair. You could, and it's like when we did cat cow. So you're lifting your chest. Just be gentle on your neck. If it hurts your neck, don't bring your head so far back. But think about shining your heart to the sky and doing a cobra in your chair. I think also the twist and the seated pigeon are really great to do when you've been sitting because your low back gets strained a little bit. So I recommend setting your iPhone or your phone or your computer or alarm or whatever you have every hour and do any stretch that feels good. Even if it's just reaching your arms up, maybe just getting out of your chair. Yeah, something, because I think that helps not just your body, but your mind. We get very fatigued, right? We've all had that on Zoom where we're like, we feel like we can't move. I will just turn my camera off, even in a meeting, and then just do a little stretching. It's distracting if we're all in a meeting, but if you turn your camera off just for a second, people think you coughed or something, and then you can go back to sitting still, and it feels so much better.
Yeah. Elise, we run out of time. Laura, you have a last question, Laura?
Sure. So my question is, how can we practice cognitive self-advocacy at home?
Oh, well, and it was beautiful. So we that's similar to, I think it was Alexander's question. So you can sit down, and I like to do this at the end of the day and just think about how my day went and think of a little bit of a challenge. So right, build that awareness, then remind myself that I should turn towards common humanity, away from isolation. And then I usually like the hands on my heart, but keep in mind, this is a really kind of powerful gesture as well. So, so thanks for the question, but yeah, that's a beautiful takeaway from what I offered today.
Thank you, Laura.